How was it? Hello, how was it? The trip was okay. It was okay. Traffic. I'm interested. Hello. How is it? The president. Yeah. But I came earlier.
Yes.
So you are not ready. The file never finished. Good to see you. How's it going? Good to see you. President.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just received the presence of our theme speaker for today's event, no other than Senator Otunba Gbenga, FNSE FAENG. Welcome, distinguished theme speaker, Senator Otunba Gbenga. Wanted to know that
for your commitment. To all JCI Ikeja members, you are the lifeblood of this organization. Your energy, idea, dedication has driven our success, and I am honored to serve alongside with you. We have built a strong legacy together, and we are celebrating the 40th year. I am confident that the best is yet to come. As we look ahead, let us continue to lead with purpose, to challenge the status quo, and to inspire others to join us in making a lasting impact. Together, we will continue to build the world to be better. Thank you for having me for an extraordinary year. Yours sincerely, Otunba.
All right, thank you very much. Put your hands together for the president. God bless you, man. All right.
Former presidents and now senators, all the very elder JCIs that are here, Senator, I'm very, very happy that when the abuse senators were not alone. So, Senator Ogala, I recognize you. Senator Joko Tade, I recognize you. Senator Ojo, I recognize you. Our darling Senator Ronke, I recognize you. I've been accused of always smiling, but today I met somebody who smiles better than I. My recognition. The only thing that he is chewing gum, I don't chew gum, but that guy, handsome, I recognize him. It's a sunny day, and just permit me in a special way to recognize and salute all the people who have put this program together. I mustn't forget the wonderful MC of this program. He took a picture and he was sure that with that picture he would get plots and plots of land in Ogun State. I wish him well. Our DJ, and of course, that lady of song who sang so sonorously, and the band that has backed them up, I also recognize you. You must know why I'm giving these people special recognition. Once upon a time, musicians, MCs, DJs are poorly paid. But not with DJ Guppy, who is the daughter of maybe one of the richest Nigerians, and all the very wealthy musicians who can employ doctors, engineers. So these days and age, when you see musicians, please greet them properly, because you can't be too sure the depth of their pockets. But not only that, again, once upon a time, you are expected to dress well as highly educated people. I came in from England yesterday, and most of the people who sat were wearing sportswear. And I said, what is going on in Nigeria these days? That even big people now try to copy the sports people, because we all know that one of the richest people now, especially the footballers. My son is very well built, and many years ago he said, Dad, I want to play. And I said, please don't go and wound yourself. So these days he said, okay, Dad, you sit down. I'm getting too old to play. He's about 24. But he says he's too old to play. He said, my classmate is now playing for Man U. And you know what that means in terms of Naira and Kobo. So I'm saying this because this is JCI. I'm not unaware of some of your objectives, the kind of education you have, and so on and so forth. But please recognize that the whole world is now changing. I asked the president while I sat with her, I said, what exactly do you do? She said she's a data analyst. In those days, you expect her to say, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, this, I'm an accountant. It doesn't happen any longer, because these data analysts, these positions, these sports people, they are now employing all of us engineers. The whole world is changing. But by and large, let me say that I'm so happy and excited to be here today to talk briefly about what I've been told is just a minute. This is the problem with technology. In those days, we were written what we wanted to say down. But these days, if you bring a piece of paper like that, people will be wondering that it's old, shivering person. So we have to put everything down. The topic that I've been asked to talk about is boundless bond, traveling together, and looking at that topic, that is striving together. And you don't need to go too far. I'm not going to just read something. I will take this thing by way of discussion. And if you feel that you want to interrupt me, you can. And if you don't interrupt me, I'll spend about 50 minutes. Thereafter, you can ask me questions. And I'll be happy to take your questions. Any question, no hold back, anything under the sun, I will be happy to answer. Chief Obafemi said, and I quote, in September 14, in order that our unity may endure, we must labor after objectives and ideas that are noble, elevating, and capable of benefiting the vast majority of our people. I want to therefore start by extending my deep gratitude once again to the leadership of JCI Ikeja for this invitation. I was made to understand that JCI, with its mission to empower young people to create positive change, provides a platform for young leaders to connect, share ideas, and work together towards common goals and objectives. JCI, I'm told, plays a vital role in promoting unity and fosters a culture of collaboration that extends beyond individual efforts. I'm not so sure whether I have regrets because I didn't have opportunity to join JCI. But as a young man, I was president of the Maryland Lions Club, and we used to harass everybody that, when lions appear, we roar, and all the JCIs and all the Rotarians and Rotaractors should go and sit down when lions come on the scene. So JCI, from the totality of what I've seen, you have done very, very well. And if I look at some of the people who have become senators, I now understand where they're coming from. Like I just say, Babatunde Ogala, once again I greet and recognize you. Some of the information that was relayed here were not known in the public, and I think somebody must have found a clue to divulge some information. I'm not accusing you, but I just want to recognize you once again, Senator Babatunde Ogala. Now, this gathering represents, in my opinion, a powerful moment to reflect on the themes boundless, bond, thriving together, which speaks of the importance of unity, collective effort, and shared responsibility in driving societal progress. It calls upon us to contemplate the intricate web of connections that shape our collective aspirations and, more importantly, how we might drive progress. Not as solitary actors, but as a cohesive unit, bound by purpose, leadership, and its core is the art of nurturing these bonds, not just for the present, but also for posterity. While I was thinking about this topic, there are 2 or 3 things that I have noticed, which I think is quite key in talking about bonding and collective efforts. First, I tried to look at our country and the various segments that makes our country. Of course, you know that many years ago, this was just about 3 regions here: the northern region, the eastern region, and the western region. And I tried to see whether there are elements of bonding in these regions. And I found out that yes, the eastern region are very well bonded. I don't know what they are bonded in. Maybe I will throw it out for you to guess. The northern region, yes, they are also very well bonded. The western region, where probably most of us, I'm not so sure the bonding is strong enough in that area. And what is the result of this bonding? Whether we like it or not, our brothers from the east are bonded in terms of business. And you see how they run their business. Very well bonded. You see a typical Igbo man with a big shop, doing business. And then you see 1 or 2, 3 young people, most likely from their villages. And after some time, 5, 10 years, you see that young man say he has obtained his freedom. And he has his own shop. And you would think that he's going to compete with his mentor. No. He still regards himself as a servant to his boss. And you know one thing, maybe some of you have not found out. Many years ago, I go to Alaba market a lot to buy one thing or the other, electronics, this, that, so we'll go to Alaba market. I just want to warn you, once you enter one shop, you better conclude everything you want to do, finish it in that shop. Because as you are entering that shop, about 2, 3, 4 will enter with you. They will find out what you are pricing. They will listen to the price that they're giving you. So you will deceive yourself and say, oh, let me go to another shop. before you get there, they're already there with you. And they will hint the man that is there that this is the price I will give him. So rather than you get a cheaper price, is either you get a higher price or you get at best the same. But what I found out is that by the time you go to 3, 4 shops, 5 shops, and you now decide, okay, you want to buy, you'll be shocked that they are writing you receipt in that shop. The stuff is probably the first place you went. And I don't know whether anybody can achieve that kind of bonding. Whether we like it or not, that bonding has turned them into probably, in terms of commerce, the most successful in our land. Is that correct? Now, let's look at our brothers from the north. Those of us who have gone into politics know that they are very well bonded. And I found it out a number of times. A typical example, I was looking online. I think the mother of Yaradua died. And a number of politicians have gone to casinos to pay homages. And then the boss, I don't know how many people saw it, there was the current VP seated in the bus. Next to him is Atiku, the former VP, and I looked at all of them. And I just say, we are just wasting time. These people are well bonded, they are together. And if people tell you that they are not bonded, we're telling lies. They are very well bonded. And whether we like it or not, because of that bonding, they have become the most successful set of politicians in the land. If you want to be realistic. Now, let me come to Southwest. I don't see no bonding here. And I can go to the typical example that I started with the brothers from the East. When my own people serve apprentice to learn tailoring or mechanic and all of that, then on the day of their graduation, they will have to go and find hot drinks, schnapps and all of that, and give it to the Oga who has trained them for God knows how many years. But that's not the end of the story. They have to bring cola nuts and all sorts of other things that possibly they cannot afford. All of this they have to provide for the boss. And then, rather than set them up, they now have to do what they call journeyman. It's like an apprentice. So you now have to do journeyman, maybe for another 2, 3 or 4 years, for you to be able to buy your own sewing machine or whatever tools you need for your trade. And so we haven't seen enough success. And my thesis is that we are not seeing that success that we are supposed to see because our people are not bonding enough. Am I communicating? And there are so many instances that we can talk about. In the business world, part of what I have noticed in our environment is that it is something that is most unusual to find, let's say, a one-man business going from generation to generation. Most of the time, these businesses go down with the demise of the founder. And I think part of what has gone wrong also is because we haven't learned the art of proper bonding and taking effect of collective action. When we were going up, the biggest construction company by the way was T.A. Oni and Sons. Many of the Gen Z people here will not know that. And we were all hoping and praying that, oh, these are the kind of unfortunately, those organizations were not sustained, and the reason why they have not been sustained is because there has been no bonding or what I will call collective action. I'm saying this so that we can look at practical experiences and see whether we can take deliberate action. And the JCI, with the kind of interaction you are having, I believe you are in a position to continue to explain and educate our people that there is indeed a need for our people to bond. In this fashion, I go now to what you can call my own little experience. For progress and development and deep impact, this is what motivated some of us to foray from what you can call the confines of successful professional in the private sector to an interesting, intriguing, challenging, yet impactful public sector. And having built a highly successful business in a professional, highly complex process, driven by quality engineering business, with a niche on elevators, as you are aware, escalators, UPS, material handling equipment, from a humble but noble beginning to become one of probably the best in the industry today. We went into the foray of politics. And a number of people have asked me, I remember that when my first foray into politics, as you were told, was when I was the youngest member of the Chibaolo's Committee of Friends. I was once the haggard-looking boy from the University of Lagos, and I was then the president of the UPS Student Week. We called it Diner Club at that time. I remember Pastor Otunba Gbenga was my vice president. He became a fairy priest. He was our secretary. And that's how we started. I remember that one fine day, I think it was in 1978, when the then military president, Olusegun Obasanjo, decided to leave the ban on political activities. And we were invited to 31 Park Lane. That used to be the residence of Chibaolo in Apapa. Bola Bogusowo, the then fairy journalist who ran Sunday Times, was the one who was looking after the media. So as Chibaolo, Omide was lifting the ban on political activities in 1978, Chibaolo called that meeting. And all the people gathered at Papa. My father lived in Ibadan. And so, on network is at 7 o'clock, empty network, he saw me amidst all these old people. Chibola, Moncha Suma, Edi Maduna, MCK and Shuku. Who are the people that I saw there? Rafiu Jafojo, former deputy governor of Lagos, Jakondi, and all these people. Olaniwa Ajayi, Ayo Adebanjo. And so one little boy was. The next day, my father drove to the University of Lagos and said, look, mister, what's wrong with you? I asked you to go and study engineering. What are you doing amongst politicians? Didn't you see what happened during the wet here in Ibadan? When I had to reverse from Okebola to Malete, when houses were being burnt? No, you don't understand this process. It's not for you. So go and study engineering. Maybe when you finish your engineering and you have settled, then you can consider it. So dutifully, I just made a U-turn and forgot about politics. But of course, it's in the blood. So sooner or later, after engineering, I told my father that I'm an engineer. And not just that, I'm a current registered engineer. Am I now allowed? And he said, yes, you can go. I'm mentioning this because a number of our people these days, relatively, not a lot is happening in the private sector any longer. So when you try ABCD and you are not making it, the next thing I want to go and join politics. And you are coming to politics not to do anything better. I don't want to use the word steal. because quite a large number of so-called participants are there because everything has failed and they're looking for how to make it. But I do strongly feel that if there is group action, our parents used to say to us, you must remember the son of whom you are, or you must also remember where you are coming from. If there is group action and it is group that decide to say, you go there, that group is probably going to be some kind of influence and controlling factor. And once you remember that you are coming from that group, you will also try to ensure that you don't do wrong. It's also part of what I call group action and bonding. So I've given you some little example. But let me now quickly also use myself as a case study. These days I see our colleagues, my government. No. That's military sound. There's something like my government. Because it's a democracy. And you are representing the people. So I keep telling my colleagues, don't say my governor, no. Say our administration. We have decided to do ABCD. We have succeeded in doing 1, 2, 3. Not that I. What is I? It's not your money. And I think if people continue to try to be a little bit, how do I explain it? Conservative, selfless, and humble, people will appreciate that when they have opportunity to serve, it is not representing themselves, it is representing a group, a tendency. And because you don't want that tendency or that group to be destroyed, that can also act as, for instance, a controlling an influence on you for you to do right. I think when you also look at our culture, where we are coming from, a lot of that is no longer happening. Again, I keep talking about where I'm coming from. I was born at Liberty Stadium, on that road, everybody knows everybody. And what is it? Is either you are the son of a teacher or a pastor, or everybody knows what everybody is doing. If you therefore come home one day with a new car, people will be wondering, mọ́tò tuntun, bolo ti rí, iṣẹ́ wo ló ṣe? And you'll be shocked. In that area, nobody will go to that house until they are sure of the source of the funding of that car. Down on our streets is the residence of one Ponle. He was the richest. He used the Pontiac. And as young people, when the Pontiac is coming, we know what he was doing. My father was Dr. Duarte. He wrote a super, my father's daughter, a doctor. And you know that's the trunk, when, I don't know whether you know that car. When it comes like this, it goes down like this. And when it's time to go, so all of us, young people, one Dr. Duarte come, we are going to go and wait. And we'll see that car. Hey. And I told myself, I'm going to buy a Citroen super. Of course, by the time I grew old, the car was no longer a Vogue. But these were the sort of, I want to become a doctor like Dr. Duarte. I'm not so sure we can go back to that again, but I think it's very, very important that group action, mentoring, bonding is something that we must have to find a way to go back to. Talking about human capital development, I'm saying this because at the end of the day, the strength of the people is in the human capital capacity. And when everything fails, what cannot fail is the education and the value system that we have developed. When I was governor, we did everything that we were able to do. Okay, airport, yes. seaport, yes. Free trade zone, yes. Hydration, yes. Agri, yes. Sports, yes. Tourism, yes. Everything. We faced everything. Unfortunately, because there wasn't enough ICT compliance in those days, a number of people didn't know the amount of work that we put in. But I must let you know that we did a lot of work. But by far, the most important that I feel happy about was what we did with human capital development. We decided that we wanted to look at our state, where do we want to be 20, 30, 40 years, and who would drive the state. And we identified very brilliant students. And you qualify for that scholarship to go abroad to study on those areas that we decided was important to develop our state 10, 20, 30 years ahead. And I think in the process, we were able to get about 100. The qualification is that you must have a first degree, reluctantly 1 or 2 with 2-1. And we send them abroad. And I'm happy they've come back. All of them have been very, very strong, very important. And where did this one come from? We remember the model of Chimaolowo. He was facing politics. We had key people, Professor Akin, Mabokuje, those sort of people. Professor Tupakuwa, all of those people. They took Western Region Scholarship. They went and studied what they wanted to study, chiefly to government job, and they became, whether we like it or not, the role model in their various industries or various just professions. So I think that going ahead, I want to enjoy you all to go out of your way to support human capital development. Whether we like it or not, the way to go is education, education, and education. Finally, I want to come back and look at our country and our challenges. I have quite a number of my friends who are advising governments on various things. Most of them are so brilliant, very important, credible people. But on a number of occasions, I've had cause to challenge some of them when we have our quiet time. And I said, Nigerian problem is not as difficult as we are making it to look. You are talking too much drama. The simple thing in our country is that we are not producing anything and we are importing everything. That's just the solution to our problem. And I'm not going to spare our women. Once upon a time, àwọn ọmọ wa máa lọ dírí fún wọn ni. Listen, it's human hair. And then I was checking the Office of Statistics. They don't have a lot of information because most of the human hair are smuggled, so it's not documented. But they said that from their documentation, Nigerians spend about $5 billion in bringing human hair. And you really left for anyone. And I don't know whether anybody can change that because we have been programmed to think that you need to look like a wise lady for you to be perceived to be beautiful, which is not true. And I think you need to be told that what our men are looking for is different from what you are thinking. The white ladies don't have what our people are looking for. They don't have it. They are flat at the back. I know that we don't like that. Let me suspend that discussion. Our people are still importing toothpicks. And I just want to encourage all our people. I'm not aware of anything, especially now that we produce, or anybody who can produce anything in Nigeria that will not add value to himself and to the country. So whether we like it or not, the solution is local. We're all guilty. When I was coming here, I said, what should I wear? Suit? I said they will abuse me. I'll also be guilty. Because we're wearing suits, ties, Italian shoes, this, that. Shoes are now being made in Aba. One fine day, one of my essays many years ago, I saw her carrying a bag, so I didn't understand at that time that this thing has gone crazy. I said, bag, you can come 4,000 pounds. What? To appeal to who? But it has done worse. So I just want to appeal to whether it is our men that is causing this wahala or the women. Let us. The sad story is that the height and scale that are used to make these leather products are sometimes from Kano. So it's taken out of here at next to nothing. Value is added, they bring it back, they brand it, and once they brand it, we go crazy. Whether it's worth the value or not, it's not important. Once it's branded. And the about people did something, they started doing copy. But I don't know the problem with our women. They will see the two. They will look and say, I know, uncle. They will, no, it's not it. They know it. I don't know how they find out. They say, no, it's not it. You know, problem one. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think I've been able to talk to you, not so much of a lecture, but to bring us down to where we are as a people, to look at what we need to do to make progress. My submission is very simple. We have a country that is overblessed by God. Probably the richest country in the world by means of what we have as natural and mineral resources. We have arable land. We have human power. But we have not been able to harness all of this. And I think part of what we need to do is to begin to come together and decide on what you can call group objectives, values, and coming together to achieve a common good. That is my thesis. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please let's keep those hands jamming for Otunba Gbenga Daniel. And it's important that at this time around, I particularly want us to give him the JCI applause. Senator Otunba, sir. All right. That was a beautiful thing.
And indeed, JCI Nigeria, on behalf of the President of JCI Ikeja and our team.
And while you were talking, something came to my mind as well. This organization prides itself that in their age bracket from 18 to 40. And coincidentally, the age grade of those who are running out of Nigeria, the chairperson, within that block, as a senator and a leader, how do you see that portending on leadership and the structure of our people in Nigeria?
Well, the story of any nation is, let me say, evolutionary to the extent that different times, different challenges. While we were growing up, some of us went abroad to school with a view to returning home. That was objective, not to stay there permanently. My own opinion is that there is something lost for now. They are going, they will learn some experience and get more exposure. And I'm sure that there's no place like home. Sooner than later, they will recognize that home is the place to come. And they are hoping that they are going to bring all the experiences and resources with to come and develop home. So I'm not really too bothered about it. I think it's something that will pass, will come and go.
Okay, now generally to the youth of Nigeria, today, what's your special message to them?
There is no shortcut to hard work. Anything that is appearing working without hard work is temporary. If you just, we know the challenges are humongous. We have compassion for them. But within that limits, they should just keep doing what they want to do and just stay at it. For you to be able to make a mark in anything you do, you have to become proficient. So if you want to do the furniture man, be a good carpenter, stay there, as future there. That's why the Thank you very much.